Buonasera a tutti, and welcome to the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, for Week 12 here in Season 4 of the MidWest F1 League. 11 corners make up this 5.8-kilometer circuit, and as if the two DRS zones weren't enough for overtaking, the long straight after Ascari into Parabolica make for exciting wheel-to-wheel action, as well as the Rettifilo and Ravagia chicanes. Now, Virtual Pirelli have gone with the C4, C3, and C2 compounds for this Grand Prix. I've been looking forward to this one in particular for a very long time, no matter what division I am going into this week. This week happens to be the amazing division of Division 4, a division that hasn't disappointed me yet so far. So I'm really looking forward to this one, but before we get into that, an entire mess of driver changes this week as Ulek enters the Aston Martin for Lightwork, who Lightwork was on a bit of a roll here. It's a little unfortunate not to see him join up again this week. JCast enters the Williams of Snooker. PWR Fusions enters the Alfa Romeo of Silent Banshee. Merfola steps into the Mercedes of Humble Hippo. Zareska enters the Red Bull of KD35. The Lone Wolf enters the McLaren of Stat. And Dissection fills into the Alpha Tauri of Chunky Corgi. Now, here we are at Monza. Goodness gracious, I'm so excited for this. It's only as if I've said that a bunch of times already. But as we get cars out onto the circuit, I've got a weather report from Tim Lee. Let's see how this plays out here. And it looks like dry conditions for the most of the session. Not a rain chance above 15% in the whole weekend. So we are in for a good one here. So, as we look at Zareska starting his outlap, let's go over just a couple of interesting facts behind the Monza circuit. Now, originally opened in 1922, but closed until 1948 due to World War II, and then reopened thereafter. And it was actually added to the Formula One calendar in 1950, which has held every Italian Grand Prix since then, all but the exception of Imola in 1980. Held the Italian Grand Prix in that year. Now, Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton share the Monza win record with 5 apiece, and Rubens Barrichello holds the race lap record with a 121.046, and I believe that was back in 2004. That record was put in, so that's really solid. But when we get to Midwest F1 facts, there isn't much to go over, really. Monza has held only one divisional race in Midwest F1 history. That was back in Season 1. I think a couple weeks into the season. Now, Jay Chase holds the league lap record with a 121.755, but there will definitely be a new Division 4 lap record set tonight. And as we begin our timed lap here, or our little go-on lap of the impromptu track guide of the Monza circuit. Heading into turn number 1, really want to be on the brakes as late as you possibly can. You want to get this line through the Rettifilo chicane correct, not only on entry but on exit as well. I think he got in the dirt just a little bit too much there. That's going to hurt his time. Going through Curva Grande, you want to stick to the inside, especially in this qualifying session. Maybe not so much in the race, but you want to get a good line going into Ravagia right here. Be careful not to hit those sausage curbs, or your car will go flying, as I've learned. Also, beware of the gravel on exit there as well. Now into the Lesmos. Very crucial that you get your gear changes and your braking correctly, as Zareska didn't get it that cleanly there as he exits the corner as well a little bit slower into the DRS section. This lap is not going to be Zareska's best by far. Definitely capable of better as he heads into Ascari. Now, this one has been made really, really difficult in this year's game. Very difficult to take these corners, as you can see Zareska really struggling with it now. Down this little straight into Parabolica coming up here. Now, Parabolica, you want to get on the brakes early and get down in the gears early as you can as well, and try to stick to the inside of the circuit. That's going to help you in the race, and also as well as these qualifying sessions to build up some speed. Zareska is going to come to the end of his lap here with a 122.965. Definitely think he's capable of better than that, as PWR Fusions kind of sets that one behind by about 1.2 seconds. So a very solid lap there from Fusions in the Alfa Romeo. He's actually going on the mediums as well. That surprises me just a little bit. Only about 4 drivers choosing to go on the mediums. JCast goes, well, it was there. Shelly the Turtle goes P1, a 121.207. and Kitten Petter immediately outdoes that. This is one of those tracks we're going to see a lot of activity on these leaderboards. One of those tracks, not a lot of room whatsoever to make things happen, as Ulek Hovland goes P9. Behind him, I think that's the Alpine of, not JCast, that's C. Freeman starting a timed lap. Let's go along with him. Already running into some traffic here. That looks like Ulek in front of him as he goes through the Redifilo chicane into the Curva Grande. Let's see how much of a mishap this causes here. If Ulek doesn't get a good line or clean one through Raggia here, it's going to mess up Freeman's lap. Let's see how Freeman does over the curb. Not too much. Oh, he's taking it a little bit slower than I would have thought. As he approaches the Lesmos 6 and 7. Doesn't really get down to the curb as much as you'd like to see. Good, takes a nice exit at least. Down into turn 7. Yeah, he's taking that one well, and I think he's going to get a little bit of a tow here. And oh, we have a retirement. That's Shelly the Turtle, who's gone off there on exits of the Ascari chicane. And oh my, he's properly done that one in as we go along with Ulek. Hopefully we can see. Oh, and Ulek's going to go off himself. Oh man, and that is a couple retirements there. Merfola's in the gravel as well. Mopawa Cowboy on board with there, and goodness gracious, oh, we got more cars coming around. That's Zareska here. Man, oh man, this is a messy start to the qualifying session already as Merfola pulls out on the track, taking some styrofoam with him. Mopawa Cowboy coming to the line. That's going to put him up to P9. This is Zareska in the middle of the circuit, probably just letting some cars go by. But goodness gracious, a messy beginning to this session. I think, oh yeah, Mopawa Cowboy's going to completely miss this chicane here. That's going to do in at least this and next lap. Here's the Lone Wolf, what appears to be a timed lap. Behind him, I think, is the Alpine of JCast. No, it's the other Alpine of C. Freeman, who hasn't put through a lap yet. Oh, Zareska's actually trying his best to go through the thing properly. So Ulek Hovland and Shelly the Turtle being claimed by the Ascari chicane. We were just talking about how that's been made a lot more difficult in this year's game. In either class of cars, whether it be F1 or F2, as a couple people experienced yesterday. You can't really take up any of the green stuff there on the inside of the chicane in either part, as that loses a lot of grip quickly, and I think that's what those two drivers went through. Just kind of tried to extend the track as much as they could, and unfortunately they ran out of grip in a terrible spot and lost the car and lost their qualifying sessions as well. C. Freeman, he's going to enter the pits now. Behind him looks to be the Williams of, I believe that's Grumpy Old Catman. No, that's the other one. It's Mopawa coming in. And now the track starts to quiet down a little bit as we go along with Villeneuve as he heads towards Parabolica. Now, as I was saying before we got to our timed lap there, another quick interesting fact. As far as F2 races are concerned, they're the only other division that has raced on this prior to this season, aside from the one Division 1 race. El Majaco holds 2 event wins here with Mystic Joker and yours truly sharing an event win in Season 2. So yeah, and I actually had a pretty good outing at this track yesterday. Got into it a little bit with a certain Australian in the first race, but came back to finish P2 anyway, so feeling good about that. Next across the line, I think we're going to have Leclerc as he makes his way. He's on an outlap now. Behind him, I believe this is going to be Tim Lee, who I think has just crossed the line. Behind him looks to be the Ferrari of Kitten Petter. Let's actually go along with him right now. He's P1, a whole 5/100ths of a second to clear of second place, down into the, what's his name, Redifilo chicane. Let's see how he gets it. Oh, and he's gotten it completely wrong there. A little bit too generous on the throttle after going over the curb, and that one has toasted his lap, and anyone behind him as well. Hopefully they weren't on timed laps. C. Freeman was on an outlap, the Red Bull behind him. Grumpy Old Catman on an outlap as well. He's got the Red Bull, I believe, of Zareska behind him. Nope, that's actually Heavy S, who's also on an outlap, so no harm, no foul completely there for Kitten Petter. Grumpy Old Catman was, however, on a timed lap. That's not helped him any. Good news about this track, though, is, it's a short, decently short circuit, short lap time. You can get a bunch of timed lap attempts in. That's exactly what Kitten Petter's going to have to do here. I will say, a lot of these drivers really had to do some experimenting with the circuit. That's a common theme that we see sometimes, is sometimes a driver will go out in the early stages of qualifying, see what they can do with the circuit before they throw everything at it, and I think that's exactly what's happened for anyone outside the top 3. As Kittenpetter is going to be rounding Parabolica here shortly. Definitely no threat of a fastest lap here from him. Leclerc behind him, he's on a timed lap. He's going through Curva Grande, taking up all the boards on the inside of the track as Kittenpetter. He does go into the pits there. It takes a little hiatus as Kittenpetter goes purple in Sector 1 through Raggia into the Lesmos. Let's see how he handles it. Seems to be on a really good lap so far. Yellow flag at the beginning of the chicane. That looks to be that is the Aston Martin of Tim Lee, either letting drivers by or taking styrofoam with him. Either one is a solid bet there, as here comes Leclerc down into Ascari. See how he handles it. Ooh, maybe a little bit wide. Ooh, that's a really precise exit there. A little surprised that he didn't manage to invalidate, but absolutely nicely done there from him. Into Parabolica he goes. Seems to be on a good lap so far. Hopefully he doesn't take this final corner wide. Into the pit straight. A cool 0.2 of a second. That one has done well for Leclerc. And he's absolutely blown Kittenpetter's lap out of the water as well. I say out of the water. Now 0.2 of a second as PWR Fusions now goes provisional pole. 0.2 clear of his own teammates. With a 120.315. That is an absolutely stonking lap there from him. Now, you know, 0.2 of a second can be made up on pretty much any other track. Oh, we have an incident there. That looks to be the Red Bull. Zareska has gone off on the exits of the second Lesmo out of the exit of turn 7. If we can get on with the Alfa Romeo of Leclerc. And now it's gone away too fast. Maybe has he just clipped the curb a little too heavily on exits and span it into the wall. I'm not really sure. He didn't get a clear look of what did happen. Look and see what everybody's best tire is on. So yeah, it looks like everybody that's choosing the medium tire is suffering here. Villeneuve has gone on the mediums currently. He's on his outlap, as I think Grumpy Old Catman jumped him up in the leaderboards. Let's see. Villeneuve is on his outlap, and you can see he's going to be struggling with grip just a little bit on those medium tires. Didn't really get through that section of the track cleanly. And oh, now he's in the grass. That's good news. Into Parabolica. Let's see if he can get a good run out of the corner to start his time lap off right. He's using up a lot of the exit. That's good news there. He's going to funnel down the left side of the track as well. He's done that good. That's going to help him a little bit. That's going to save him at least 0.02 of a second there, or more, which is pretty valuable on this track. Down into the Rettifilio chicane. This chicane here, and as well as the two others, is really where most of this lap time is gained and lost. Everything can go either perfect or terribly wrong in those 6 or 7 corners. Which is, I agree, the majority of the track, but still, as he makes his way through Raggia, pretty solid there. Seems to be doing okay, not purple through Sector 1, although it is doable for him. Oh, and he's going to get into the gravel. Keeps it alive, though. Nicely done. He's not lost, I don't think, too much time, although now he's going to lose some. Loses it on exit of the corner, and yeah, he's going to have to abandon that timed lap attempt. And I tell you what, Kittenpetter behind him in the Ferrari. 5 minutes to go in the session. So still some time here from Villeneuve, and any of these guys outside the top 10, they can make an impact here late in the session, as Kittenpetter, who looked to be on a great lap, is going to invalidate on the exit of Ascari. A little bit more tricky with this track as compared to games before. That whole chicane, entry, midway through, and exit have all been what seems to be constricted compared to last year's game. The track hasn't changed any. But it just feels so more constricting, whether the cars have changed that much or... I'm not sure what it is, but that chicane just doesn't feel right anymore. Let's go along with Garris. He's already all the way through. Dissection's the one behind him. Looks like Villeneuve's gone and retired from the session. J-Cast looks to be going slowly through Ascari, and he's going to delete another lap time there. That's not gone well for him. The McLaren of DDL on an outlap. In front of him, Grumpy Old Catman on an outlap. S7 on an outlap. Leclerc on an outlap. To the line now goes, I believe, Dissection comes in. Next across the line, I think it's going to be the McLaren. Nope, not the McLaren. It's actually going to be Grumpy Old Catman. In front of him, Cruster T started an outlap. Grumpy Old Catman is the first driver on a timed lap here. Let's see what he's got as he makes his way through Curva Grande, heading towards Raggia. Let's see how he handles this corner here. Is he going to take up most of the curb? No, he's going to take it a lot wider than I would expect. Now, the thing is you can take a lot of that corner. You can shave off so much time. The thing is, though, if you hit that sausage curb incorrectly, you're going to go flying. And that's not what any driver wants. Your car literally launches across the track, and that goes with either. Oh, has DDL gone off? The McLaren of DDL, something has happened with him. Can we see what's happened as the Lone Wolf is going to trot by now? Exiting the Lesmo turn 6. Wow, he's in the middle of the circuit there. He's caught the curb on the exits and span it sideways. That's not what you need there. Here's Grumpy Old Catman heading into Parabolica. Not a lot of time at all left in this session. Just over 2.5 minutes. Driver's going to get at least one lap or more. Grumpy Old Catman, where's that going to put him? P7, not bad at all. Still 1.3 seconds off the pace. Not what he needs. Oh, and that's an incident there. Leclerc, he's gone off. And I think he's just maybe hit the gravel and span across the circuit. He's going to get right into the path of the Alpine behind him. That's, I believe that's C. Freeman coming out, or J-Cast. That would have been absolutely dangerous if he was on a timed lap. That's not what they need at all. Next across the line looks to be the Williams of Mopowa Cowboy starting a timed lap here. Let's go along with him. Oh, he's going to get this driver right in his way. That's Garris Vac. Into Redifilo chicane. Took it pretty well. Got a nice clean exit. That's what you need. Oh, what's happened? He's suddenly let off. Well, gee, I thought he took the first chicane there really well. That's a bit disappointing. Next up looks to be the Ferrari of Kitten Petter. Let's go along with him. He's currently P3 for almost half a second off provisional pole. Let's see what he's got as he heads into Redifilo. Handles the first chicane quite nicely through Curva Grande here. Let's see what he's got into Raggia. We got an incident over there after the chicane, but purple sector 1 for Kitten Petter at the moment. Out of the first Lesmo, takes a good exit there. All but 4 drivers out on track. That's going to prove to be messy for some of these drivers. Kitten Petter into Ascari. He's going to need to nail this if he wants a good lap here. And I think he will. Yep, that's brilliantly taken. I think Kitten Petter is going to be challenging for pole here. Let's see what happens as he heads into Parabolica now. Man, I tell you what, I think he's on a really good lap here. Cruster T, he retires, and he was on track as well. Oh, he's gone off in a really bad spot. Kitten Petter, he's going to go P2, 9/100ths of a second off of provisional pole. That's done brilliantly there. Let's see what's happened. Can we go along and find out what's happened to the Mercedes? Oh, he's in a terrible spot right in the middle of the circuit. Oh, man, I can't really dissect what's happened there. But that has completely toasted the Lone Wolf's lap on the final lap he can of the session. And it's all gone downhill for him. That's so unfortunate. There's nothing he could do. But as we go along with Garris, let's see. I think he's coming off of purple sector 2 here. I could be wrong. Heading into Parabolica. Oh, Mopowa Cowboy, he's gone off. S7's just gone past. Oh, yeah, he's not taking Ascari well. Because I think that's in the pits, though. Garris Vac across the line goes P7. Next up, it looks to be S7 in the Haas who's going to come in. And I don't think anyone else is on timed laps aside from Kittenpetter, who, well, let's see what he's got here. And I think he's going to be on an in-lap here. Definitely looks like it, not using any of his energy store as he's going to keep right and enter the pits. Behind him, I think, yep, J-Cast in the Alpine. Tim Lee's already finished. So that's going to do it. PWR Fusions taking the fastest lap, taking pole position with a 1:20.315. Kittenpetter dangerously close behind. Leclerc and Mopower Cowboy, J-Cast, and Shelly the Turtle, the last few drivers to get within a second of the pole time. The rest of the field looks to be pretty... I tell you what, the rest of the field is very condensed, apart from the top 6. Positions 7 through, what was that, 18. All within a second of each other, but PWR Fusion's taking P1, Kittenpetter P2, Leclerc in 3rd, Mopower Cowboy 4th, J-Cast in 5th, Shelly the Turtle 6th, 7th is Garrus, 8th is Grumpy Old Catman, 9th is Lone Wolf, 10th is Heavy S, 11th Tim Lee, 12th is Villeneuve, 13th S7, 14th C Freeman, 15th is DDL, 16th is Section, 17th is Cruster T, 18th is Merfola, 19th is Zareska, and rounding out the field in P20 is Ulek Hovland. And the countdown timer, well, I say countdown timer, it's actually count up timer. And someone has done it early. Wow, a whole 16 seconds in. That's gone well. Is there anybody who's... Well, someone has gone and pressed X a little bit early. Unfortunate there, but as we start our formation lap, once again, like to remind you that these broadcasts are brought to you by Raise Energy. Use code MWF1 for 50% off your total purchase at checkout. Also, check out the Slipstream podcast featuring Adaltonian and Liggy 12. Now, here's the thing. As we get into our tire strategies here, unfortunately, if you're one of those guys that likes getting the most out of a tire and watching a real tire length race, tonight's not going to be your night. There's very, very little creativity, room for creativity, as the pit windows are so small for these tires. Unless there's a safety car on or around lap 5, expect the transition from soft to mediums around lap 11. If we look and see what tire people are on, pretty much everybody outside the top, all but 2 outside the top 12, are on the medium tire. I'm not sure how much that's going to help him. As far as tire lives go, softs are only going to last you between 11 and 13 laps. Mediums will last you anywhere between 15 and 18. So, you know, maybe if you're on that medium tire, that could help you in the long run. But you're going to have to absolutely get the most out of your tires here. It's going to be no question that that is going to be necessary. Hard's 17 to 22 laps, and we're not going to need to worry about the inters and wets today from the looks of it, so that's good news there. But I think, honestly, it's going to depend who has the line into the first corner. I think the advantage is going to go to the person that is on the inside of the corner. They're going to have the most room, and they're going to benefit on exit as well. If you can stick that line correctly through the Redifilo chicane, you can walk away with it. That's going to provide you with the line going into Curva Grande. Then you're going to need to switch over to the other side of the circuit going through Raggia. This one might not be decided for the entirety of Sector 1. That one starting grid here in front of the large masses of fans here that have packed Monza. So PWR Fusions is going to be on the left side of the grid. Kittenpetter is going to be on the right side. Now, I think Kittenpetter, if he gets a good start, could be at an advantage here. As the drivers line up. Oh, that's not what I want. There we go. Has anyone got a good view of the starting grid here? Come on, guys. This is abysmal. Can't be having this. Here we go, where the lights are coming on here in Monza. It's 5 lights. It is lights out and away we go here in Monza. Now, I think Kitten Petter got off to the better start here. We already have an incident to the back. That's Ulek, Hovland, and Merfola. Merfola's already gone. Not 10 feet off the starting grid, he's gone. Side by side into turn 1. I think Kitten Petter's got a really good thing here, but it's already a safety car. Lots of penalties being handed out early. 5-second penalties for a couple drivers. Ulek, Hovland, I think, got away with that. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him. Someone has completely gone off there. Has Zareska got damage as well? Many drivers picking up 5-second penalties already. Ulek, Hovland's missing a front wing. Merfola out. Can we look and see who's got penalties already? And there's a whole mess of them. JCAS up to 10 seconds of penalties. Garrus to 5 seconds. Grumpy Catman to 5 seconds. Heavy S to 10 seconds. And Lone Wolf to 5 seconds. Cruster T also with 5 seconds of penalty. A full safety car. Not even one corner into the race. And apparently it's Zareska that hit the X button, so that's going to be him. That picks up, I think, the qualifying ban next week. But that was just, I honestly, I have no idea what's happened on that start between Ulek and Merfola. I think could have been Ulek that maybe just didn't get a good start, and they went sideways and happened to collect Merfola that went to the right side of the circuit, you know, to maybe getting a good spot into turn 1, and that's just not what's happened. It's actually not turn 1 that's caused the safety car, it's the starting grid. So that's interesting there for sure. But I think honestly PWR Fusions is lucky that the safety car came out. Kitten Petter was off to a great start and had the outside line out of turn 2 of Redafilo. The screen blue things again, and it scared me. So Ulek, Hovland comes in. Grumpy Old Catman came in as well, from the looks of it. And have they put on the hard tires? No, they've put on... Grumpy Old has gone on the softs. Can we actually see if those little guys have stopped as well yet? Both of them have stopped. So a mess of penalties for drivers early on. I mean, other than those two at the back, I think the grid has stayed relatively the same. If you're inside the top 7, that is. Heavy S jumps up 2 spots. See Freeman steps up 4. He's the biggest mover in the positive direction. Villeneuve up 1. Tim Lee down 1. Dissection and Cruster T both up 3. S7 lost 2. DDL lost 1. Zareska's gone up 2. Grumpy Old Catman loses 10 in the process. And Ulek actually moves up a position from all that. Merfola loses 2. Looks like Garrus Vac picked up his 5-second penalty from getting hit behind. Now this is the thing though, if he wants to get rid of that penalty, he's going to have to come in under the safety car. That is the league rule. You cannot ask for a penalty to be taken off if there is a safety car that happens after, during or after, as long as it's not the in-lap. Then you can, then you have to go under the safety car to have that penalty taken off. So he's not going to be able to get that taken off. He's going to have to just go in. So, hopefully we get a somewhat decently proper start to this race now. We only have a couple drivers catching up from behind. That looks like Lone Wolf has come in, as well as Grumpy Old Catman. Has he come in again? Yeah, so Grumpy Old Catman's came in twice. That I didn't expect. But honestly, coming to the restart of this race here, going to be on lap 4. Kitten Petter's in a tough spot. He's in an Alfa Romeo sandwich, which sounded a lot more delicious in my mind than it did out loud. That part's for sure. Fun fact, Alfa Romeo, actually the first team the manufacturer, the first team to win at Monza back in the year 1950. The safety car is going to be in this lap. Now, PWR Fusion is going to have to time this start well. Kittenpetter is going to have to be on his toes. Oh, and what's happened to Leclerc? Leclerc has gone off in Kittenpetter. He's picked up 5 seconds. Leclerc, what has happened? He's just binned the car. Has his wheel disconnected or something? I'm not sure what's happened, but it looks like we're going to get back to green flag racing. Man, and Kittenpetter's going to pick up 5 seconds for that. Now he's going to have to get to the inside of PWR into turn 1. I don't think he's going to make it happen now. And I think that was his best chance, but he's going to switch back to the inside. And he's almost going to make it happen, but not quite. J-Cast looks like, I think he was probably going slowly on the inside of the circuit. Behind him, Shelly the Turtle in hot pursuit. J-Cast does have the line going into Rajia. I don't think he's going to be able to make it happen. But as we switch back up to the battle to the lead, looks like PWR is getting out to a good one here. About 0.5 of a second back to him. And it looks like J-Cast starting to fall off. Maybe has he hit the gravel or something, because he's starting to fall off. Heavy S, he's in a tight spot here. He looks like he's got a lot of pace, but he's got a couple drivers in front of him that he needs to get around. Looks like Cruster T getting overtaken by someone. No, he's actually falling down the order. Something has happened there to Cruster T, and I think DDL's bit the dust on something as well. But meanwhile, PWR keeps his lead at the moment with the top 3 within a solid enough gap to each other, and it looks like here's C. Freeman going to switch to the inside on Heavy S as they head down towards Parabolica. It's going to be side by side, heading in. Oh! And that's a double death there! Both of them. Goodness gracious, and another safety car. And thankfully I was on board with that, as C. Freeman wanted to go to the inside of its Heavy S, and I'm not entirely sure what's happened between these two. But whatever it was has not gone well. And another full safety car. Cruster T picking up 5 seconds for speeding into the pit lane. Man, oh man. 4 DNFs in what is essentially one full lap of racing. Yes, I know we've had 5 laps on the scoreboard, but we have 5 laps up top of your screen, but we've only really had one full lap of racing, and it's resulted in multiple 5-second penalties and 4 DNFs. So, that just makes things even more interesting. Now, however, this is going to be the time now, if you want to go in on the hard tires, go box for the hard tires, and try to stretch it out to the end. I'm sure the hard tires are going to be much slower. However, the improved tire life and Freeman is very upset. The switch to blue. Looks like Zareska is going to come in, but then pick up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. I think, honestly, Kittenpetter probably should have came in and gotten that penalty taken care of. The mediums can go about 18 laps. Man, oh man. So Freeman not happy with Heavy S. We'll have to get some sort of replay on that, maybe in the stewards reports later in the week, but from what I saw, it was really clean racing, and then all of a sudden both cars just suddenly hooked to the left. I wonder if maybe Freeman tried to go right, or Heavy S tried to block off the line. I'm not sure who's at fault there. But at the end of the day, it's a DNF for both those drivers. Tell you what, the racing prior to the safety car was pretty good. Pretty solid overtakes. The battles were doing well. So, coming this time by 7 laps in. we've had one full lap of racing. Let's see if anybody's going to be taking the option for the pit lane here. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. See, that is the thing. I think in 2020, this game, the game allowed you to be on the hard tires and get away with it. People enjoyed being on the hard compound. It's not the case anymore with this game. The hard tires are just terrible in every way, shape, and form. So, I'm not sure what the deal is with Kitten Petter. I mean, it's not like he's not going to be able to get that 5 seconds taken off now. He has had the chance under the safety car to go and get it taken off, but he's going to want to get that taken off, though. I mean, the thing is I'm not entirely sure how he's picked up that 5-second penalty. I didn't know that I didn't see if he made serious contact with anybody or not. It didn't look like he did. He doesn't have any wing damage. That leads me to believe that nothing happens. Was maybe a car just DNF'd on the circuit in front of him and he kind of just went by and lightly brushed him? I know that happened to me a couple times. That sort of thing is possible. Codemasters do have a tendency to pull stuff like that, but we're gonna have the safety car in this lap again as the drivers squirm their way about. Heading towards the Parabolica curve now. So, yet again, I think now, Mo Power Cowboy, he's going to have some work to do here. He's got two really fast cars ahead of him. And as I think PWR is going to step on the loud pedal now down the pit straight here onto lap 8. We're back to green flag racing. Let's see what Kitten Petter does in front of him. He's really sticking with the slipstream here. Can he find the room going into the Redafilo chicane? Let's see what he does. No, he's actually going to keep it relatively tame for now as the rest of the field starts to pile in behind. Oh, and what's happened here? Mo Power Cowboy, he's missed the chicane completely, and I think he's going to pick up... No, he's picked up at least a warning there. Maybe he's taken it in such a way that he's not induced a penalty. But he drops down to P5. Kitten Petter still within 0.3 of a second on PWR Fusions as the field makes their way through Raggia. All looks clear for now. And we can confirm to you now, as the Discord message has come up, it looks like under investigation is going to be the Red Bull of Zareska for Murfola's DNF off the start line. So Zareska once again under investigation from the stewards for the start of the race there. As we look back through the field, it looks like Villeneuve, he might make a move on Mopawa here shortly. As it looks like Fusions has opened up a 1 second gap back to Kitten Petter. Let's see what Villeneuve can do. I don't think he's close enough to make a move yet. PWR Fusions picks up the fastest lap of the race. It's no league record, but it's there. Down into turn 1 yet again. Everything looking clean for now. As drivers head in, oh, looks like a solid battle going on back there. Let's see who that is. That looked like, oh, I believe it was the Haas of S7. Made something happen there, or a white car made something happen. And oh, grumpy old Catman, he's gone off. That's in the middle of, that's on the exit of the chicane, actually. Not what he needed. Garris Fat getting into the gravel. I think Mo Power did as well in that sequence. As they head through the two Lesmos here, the field's starting to disperse a little bit, but still good racing where there is. Nice little three-car train here. DRS not opened yet. I believe that will be coming next lap. Looks like Cruster T being overtaken by Zareska through the Lesmos. Into Ascari these drivers go. Let's see who can get the better exit, and I think the answer is going to be Mopawa there. Garrisvac really had to switch himself across the other side of the circuit. I think he maybe lost a little bit of time, and that's Tim Lee. Something has happened to Tim Lee on the exit of Ascari. Doesn't look like the car has suffered any damage. PWR Fusions picking up the fastest lap yet again. Heavy S, as, well, somebody said DNF. I don't know what it was. DRS enabled this lap. Mopawa Cowboy to the gearbox of Garrisvac. Doesn't look like anything's going to be happening this time by, although it is very closely contested here. He's got Villeneuve right behind him as well. This is the battle for P5. Down to the inside goes Mopawa. I'm not sure he's going to get the room to make the overtake. The outside line, very hard to overtake. Going into this corner, it's side-by-side into Rajia, still side-by-side, and I think a little bit of contact was made there, but Mopawa is going to keep the spot, and Villeneuve is going to get around Garris as well. So Garris losing, I think, at least a spot there in that whole sequence. Solid Racing tried their best to keep it clean, but that is an absolutely gutsy place to try to make something happen there. And now as the DRS opens for some of these drivers, we'll see if anybody can make an overtake going into Ascari. I highly doubt that's going to happen. Another one of those difficult places to overtake through. It's going to depend on who gets the better exit through Ascari. It's definitely not going to be Dissection. I think Garris has had a pretty solid exit. Villeneuve had a good one as well. I think Mopawa maybe struggled a little bit, as Villeneuve, he's going to be looking to make this overtake very shortly as they head into Parabolica. And it looks like Kittenpetter's going to be coming in now. What's he going to be doing? I think he's going to be just a little bit early. That is the only thing with that. Garris is going to box behind him. I think he's boxed just a little too early as S7 dives down to the inside on Dissection. Can he make the overtake? Still side by side. He's going to switch back to the left side of the circuit, and I don't think he's going to make that one happen now. It was a good racing between those two, and the very little that I caught onto it. Mopawa, he's got 4/10 behind the Villeneuve. S7 in Dissection. These guys have been locked in a battle for a little bit. Down into Rajia they go. Definitely think S7 took that one a little bit slower. Here's Mopawa. Looking to the back of Villeneuve here in the Haas as they head through the second Lesmo. Into the DRS section they go. Now, I don't think... The only thing is when you're going to make an overtake through this straight here, it's going to have to be before the braking zone into Ascari, because the braking zone is there, but then the turn-in is so sudden and severe, and it's at a high speed as well. You can't really make anything happen unless you're in like an F2 car. Here's the Lone Wolf. Oh, something's happened with the Lone Wolf. He was on the gearbox of S7. And has he made contact? What's happened there? Because he suddenly looked like he was slowing. Maybe S7 just didn't get the exit that he wanted and maybe held him up a little bit. But meanwhile, PWR Fusions and JCast and Shelley all coming in this lap. Mopawa is going to go ahead and inherit the lead here. Now he's going to have to put in an absolutely flying lap if he wants to keep this advantage that he's got. He didn't really take the entry curb all that well. Here's S7 to the back of Dissection. Not that far behind as well is the Lone Wolf in the McLaren. Nice little three-car train here. Got the McLaren of DDL. He wants in on this as well. And these are all the drivers that started, I believe, on that medium compound. Let's see. Yep, so everybody aside from Lone Wolf, within the top 5 has yet to stop, that being Mopawa, Dissection, S7, and DDL. Now, Mopawa is still on the softs. Lone Wolf is on pretty similarly old medium tires. DDL and Dissection and S7 all started on those medium compounds as well. They don't look like they're hurting for pace at the moment, although it does look like Lone Wolf's got just a little bit more grip. Heading into Parabolica they go. I don't think anything's going to happen there. So we look a little bit further back. Looks like JCast, can he make... Oh, and I think Tim Lee was about to lose the car. Had to kind of get himself slowed down there, and that was at the expense of JCast. JCast now going to dive down to the inside. I think he's going to make that one happen. Tim Lee on those hard tires. Again, not the favorite tire of these drivers in this game. Oh, and what's happened? Dissection, he's gone wide. Dissection losing the spots. He's losing 2 spots here. S7 and Lone Wolf suddenly inherits podium positions here from Dissection. as I believe it was the Lone Wolf that set the flying lap. Oh, that's going to be a nice picture there as Dissection gets a little bit airborne, and now we're going to lose the spot to DDL heading into the Lesmos. Nice overtake there from the McLaren driver. Dissection, I think, might just be... He just needs to keep his nerve, I think. It might be just one of those cases. You make one mistake and then they start to pile onto each other, as that looks like it's going to be the case. Meanwhile, here's Lone Wolf. Now, he's got to be patient here against S7. I think these drivers are on similar aged tires. Lone Wolf actually on 3-lap younger tires than S7. Let's see what happens here as they exit Parabolica. Oh, Lone Wolf did not get the exit he needed. He's going to have DRS anyways. But Mo Power Cowboy still has the lead. Although that ground is starting to shrink. Back to S7, but let's see if Lone Wolf can make something happen. The answer is going to be no for now. Here comes PWR Fusion making the overtake on Ulek. That one's gone well. Nicely done from him there. JCast setting the fastest lap. We'll have to remember that in case it stays. Lone Wolf still within a second. But that gap just isn't close enough yet. Here's Cruster T trying to find the back of Dissection. How much penalty has Cruster T got? It's 5 seconds, so he'll be able to take that off when he pits. He has already boxed for soft tires. Dissection getting in the gravel once again. That's 2 laps in a row, at least, that he's had that sort of mistake happen. Now it's side by side into turn 7. Cruster T really slamming on the brakes. Dissection looks to hold the spot for now, although as they head into the DRS section, oh, it's going to be Dissection that gets it. Wow, and Cruster T being mugged off with DRS there. So that overtake might have to wait until at least after Ascari, who's going to get the better drive through, and it looks like Dissection. Wow, he's going to really wobble on the exit there. Oh, and we got a car off! That's PWR Fusion! The Alfa Romeo that started on pole! Safety car, that makes 3 this race. And an absolute wrench thrown into the plans there of everybody except Mo Power Cowboy, who I think he's going to get the benefit of this. He's not going to lose that many spots. He's going to come out. He's going to be on the freshest tires. That one was an absolute gift. And if you look at stops as well, look at Ulek Hovland. 10-lap old mediums, there's no way he's going to be making the end of the race, but up to P3, that's pretty solid. Nicely done from him. So Mo Power Cowboy drops down to P6. But PWR Fusions, man, was having such a good race, and we caught on to him a little bit there as well, starting to make his way up the field and get through some of these guys on the fresher tires and make these overtakes happen. And yet another victim of the Ascari chicane. I think we had 3 victims to the chicane in qualifying. We've had at least 3 in the race. And yet another safety car, and it's going to be less than 10 laps to go when we go back to green. A little bit of shuffling up here in the safety car queue here. Hopefully no unwarranted 5 seconds. Has anyone else been reported tonight? And no, it looks like still Zareska. Oh, he's actually reported Ulek Hovland as well. So Ulek and Zareska under investigation for the incident involving Merfola. I guess he really just doesn't know which one it is that caused that incident. So safety car for at least another lap or 2 here. I must say, when we've had good racing, it's been really, really close and entertaining here. That's something that is definitely constant with these Div 4 lads. Never a dull race with these guys, that part's for sure. Whether you're a fan of safety car restarts or safety cars in general or not, that That's the thing. I tell you what, in all I've casted every division this year, aside from Division 6, I believe. And I have to say, I haven't been disappointed with any race that I've commentated this year. Of course, there are some races that, you know, you'd like to see closer racing, you'd like to see a couple less safety cars, but, you know, at the end of the day, they're all still there, and they're all still solid. I wonder how the other divisions are faring with Monza. Again, this is only the second time a division race has happened on this circuit. The first was back in Season 1. So safety car is going to be in this lap. Kittenpetter gets justice from the 5-second penalty that he attained. Now up to P1 with the threat of PWR fusions out the window. This is a day that Ferrari needs at the moment. Ferrari, decent amount of points behind the rest of the top four in the constructors. This would definitely help them out a lot. But if you look and see on who's on what tires here, they're all on relatively fresh tires. Lone Wolf right there, as well as Kittenpetter's gonna get step on the loud pedal a little bit earlier than you would have expected. Back to green flag racing here. I don't think Shelley's gonna have anything to contend with. I think it's going to be up to Mo Power Cowboy to separate the to split the Ferraris here as they head down into turn 1 and 2. Shelley the Turtle didn't look like he got the best line there. A little bit of oversteer on exit as well as the field streams through the Redafilo chicane. And it looks like here comes Mo Power Cowboy down to the inside on Shelley the Turtle, making the overtake happen. Unfortunately, I missed that one, but that looked like it was a great overtaking as they head into Raggia. Looks like everybody's taking it clean for now. Oh, Villeneuve got into the gravel. And as I say, everyone was taking it clean. Villeneuve bites the dust from the gravel. And yet another DNF. And not one that the Haas team needed as well. I don't think that's going to warrant a safety car right now. He's decently off the circuits. There's commentator's curse for you yet again. As soon as everyone seems to get through Raggia cleanly. Villeneuve out on the circuit though. Here's grumpy old Catman. Is he going to look to the inside on dissection? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Dissection on those hard tires. He's going to be really struggling for grip towards the end of this race. To the left side goes grumpy old Catman. No DRS needed. And he's going to make this one stick, I think, as they head into turn 1. Side by side they go. Grumpy old Catman did a great job there. I think S7's getting around someone as well. Positions 3 and 4 within a decent gap of each other. This one could be a battle essentially for P2. Kittenpetter's opened up a nice little gap to Mo Power Cowboy, although it could all be lost within a couple corners. We know how this circuit goes. As we look a little bit further back, here's Cruster T to the back of Zareska. Zareska seems to have had a decent day, despite being under investigation for the start, as well as Ulek Hovland. As we look at the position change, so everybody in the positive as far as where they started in the race. That's pretty interesting, actually. As we search back up through the field, now the top 4. Let's see what the gap is now. The top 4 all within 2.5 seconds on each other. Mo Power Cowboy certainly on the fastest tires in this top 4 at the moment. 3 laps old. Lone Wolf not that far behind in P5 on 3-lap-old mediums as well. Look for him to start to come up through the field shortly. But at the moment, it looks like all nice and even racing here at the moment. I think J-Cast, how much penalties does he have? He's at 5 seconds still, so that's going to hurt him, although he's about halfway there at the moment. 2.5 back to Lone Wolf in P5. Doesn't look like anyone is having difficulties at the moment. Let's go back up to this potential battle for the lead between Mopowa and Kittenpetter. I tell you what, Kittenpetter's had some decent pace today, but I think Mopowa, just the fresher tires, it's going to help him a lot. With the DRS open, we have a yellow flag back, and that's Cruster T. Something has happened with Cruster T coming out of Rajia. Could that be another safety car? That we don't need. That's for sure. We've had it with the safety cars today. Bernd Maylander, he's had enough laps around the circuit. He's happy. He's fed and warm. Let's just... But the field gets trimmed down to 13. And here's Mopowa Cowboy really using all of the circuit he can with the DRS. He's not slapping his overtake button either. He's going to rely solely on DRS here as they head into the Retafilo chicane. Oh, and I think he's just missed the breaking point there. Garris Vac being overtaken by Grumpy Old Catman heading down into 1 and 2. Let's see how this plays out. Garris Vac doing a good job trying to keep with him. I think he's done pretty well there, actually. But not enough to hold on to it. Garris Vac trying to find his way back to Grumpy Old Catman. That gap within half a second. The battle for the lead, however, within 1 second. Within that DRS range. And I tell you what, Shelly the Turtle, I think, has just visited the gravel on exit of Rajia. And I think that's hurt him a little bit because he's slowed just slightly. With the DRS, here's Mopowa heading into Ascari. I don't think the overtake's going to happen here. He's going to get on the brakes a little bit early. Hopefully, he's going to take it cleaner than Kittenpetter. Kittenpetter's had a much better line through that chicane than Mopowa. Shelly the Turtle's going to catch up. J-Cast is in pursuit as well. Mopowa in a Ferrari sandwich right now. J-Cast closing in behind as well, despite his penalties. Seven laps to go. Mopowa Cowboy with the DRS. I tell you what, he's really trying to conserve his overtake button as well. I don't think he's touched it in about 2 laps now. Up to 60%. Whereas Kittenpetter, he's about 50. And it looks like Grumpy Old Catman being overtaken through the chicane. Almost contact being made there, but a nice overtake from Garris, and now it's side by side. This is a nice shot. Something has happened. Oh, we've got, I think that's Tim Lee, or no, that's Ulek Hovland off back there. Something has happened with him. Down into Rajia, these two go nice and clean at this moment in time. Mopowa Cowboy now within 0.4 of a second on Kittenpetter. This one is getting close fast. Not to mention, here's J-Cast, not that far behind either, with the DRS. Now, this is where Mopowa has been losing a lot of his time through this chicane. He's going to have to nail it, and I think Kittenpetter is going to get the better of it again. This chicane is preventing Mopowa Cowboy from taking the spot. Shelly the Turtle's in hot pursuit as well. Don't forget about him. He's right there. Let's see what Mopowa Cowboy can manage as they exit Parabolica here. Once again, using all of the circuit that they can. Down the pit straight, he's using his overtake button now. This one is going to be close going into the corner. And I think Mopowa is just going to lay off it for now. Shelly the Turtle, he's gotten really close behind. He's only half a second off. We're going to check back in with that in a second. Here's a nice little 3-car battle here for P6, Grumpy Old Catman. Oh, Shelly the Turtle, as soon as I go away, J-Cast takes the spot. Shelly the Turtle, I think he's at oversteer on exit of the corner, and J-Cast has taken the position. We've seen Shelly the Turtle get oversteer coming out of turns 1 and 2 a couple times. There's Mopowa Cowboy, he's hit the wall. He's in the gravel, and he's hit the wall on exit of Rajia. And the man on the freshest tires in the top 5, now down to P4, with wing damage as well, I'm sure. And Lone Wolf is DNF, the McLaren driver, and a full safety car at the death. Lone Wolf has gone off. He's lost it on the exit of the last post. And something's happened here. Shelly the Turtle, he gets a penalty. He's gotten in a collision with J-Cast. Something has happened between these two drivers. Shelly the Turtle is missing his front wing. Both of these drivers up to 5 seconds now. Shelly's going to have to come in. There's no way you could take the circuit with any damage, really, never mind a missing front wing. That one surely is going to be under investigation, and now Mopowa Cowboy back up to second. Shelly the Turtle, 5 seconds for speeding into the pit lane. Kitten Petter's come in as well. Mopowa's come in. Oh, but the Williams are going to double stack. This one's not going to go well. Or, well, no, they haven't. I thought they did. Grumpy Old Catman's going to inherit the lead. Garrus in second. Tim Lee in third. Grumpy Old Catman has taken 3 stops and currently has the lead. If we look and see who's on what tire, S7's on, well, I wouldn't say fresh softs, but pretty solid softs. Everybody from P6 onward has taken fresh softs. Everybody in the top 5 better be put on notice because they are at a disadvantage. We're going to get very little to no laps of racing left when this safety car comes in. Man, oh man. Division 4, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't get much better than this. So the Lone Wolf has left the session. And then there were 12. Three drivers still catching up to the field. The thing that we haven't realized, there's not going to be DRS for very long. What's happened? Zareska's gone off! He's lost it! Just in the middle of the straight! That is the second time we've seen a driver go off in the middle of the straight under safety car. Zareska not happy in the Discord. And I think, from the sound of it, he's pulled the Grosjean. He's pulled the George Russell. He says he's just warming up his tires. And he's hit the wall, he's DNF'd. Unbelievable. Goodness gracious. The drama, and I tell you what, Zareska was having a pretty solid outing as well. I don't necessarily think he was threatening to win the race, but I tell you what, a podium wasn't going to be that far out of reach. I think it could have been possible at the end of the day. And now the only thing possible is Christian Horner F-smashing a door as both of his drivers exit the race prematurely. And that's surely going to lose that as well. That can be said for Alfa Romeo. That can be said for Mercedes. 3 teams losing both their drivers. Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, and Red Bull all losing their drivers. This one is going to be interesting. So I think the battle to watch is going to be between J-Cast, or it's going to be between Mopowa and Kitten Pet. Catman can pull off the start here. This is going to be ridiculous. We're not going to have many laps of DRS, if any, really. Lap 25, the race is going to resume on. Back to green flag racing. Jumpy Old Catman gets a nice little jump there. And it's back to green as we enter the pit straight. This is critical. Here comes S7 around the left side of Kitten Petter. Kitten Petter's going to try to outbrake him to the corner. Contact being made. Kitten Petter goes up to 4th, but it's still side by side as they enter the first chicane. Here's Kitten Petter really trying to find the back of Tim Lee, trying to salvage a podium position. Grumpy Old Catman has a nice little up right now on the rest of the field. Down to the right side goes Kitten Petter. He's in the grass. Almost pulls a George Russell at Imola. Over the curb goes Tim Lee. Over the other curb goes Tim Lee. Doesn't pick up a penalty somehow, but definitely caught some airtime there, and he's kept the position for now. Mopowa Cowboy trying to find the back of Kitten Petter. S7 losing another spot. That's at least 2 this lap. Here comes Kittenpetter around the right side of Tim Lee as they head down the DRS straight. It's going to be side by side into Ascari. Not that far behind is Mopower. He's watching this all unfold. And now Tim Lee is in the way of Mopower. Mopower is going to have to find a way around him quickly because Kittenpetter starting to pull away. Mopower doing his best to not lose the car. Many drivers going outside of track limits there. Kittenpetter now on the now with the fresh softs within a second on the top 2. Tim Lee not that far behind, but he's under pressure from Mopower. I think Mopower is going to take it this time by up to Kittenpetter. He's going to have to get around Garris shortly. 2 laps to go this time by. Down to the right side he goes. He's definitely not going to be able to overtake both of them. Into the corner. He's going to be able to overtake Garris, although it is still side by side. I don't think any contact being made, but Kittenpetter, what an overtake from him. What a sequence there. Kittenpetter doing everything he can. Mopower Cowboy getting around the left side of Garris. It's side by side. Contact, I think, being made. Side by side as they head into Rajia. Who's going to get the better corner here? Contact being made, and Garris is going to go around. He's going to take the field with him. Wow, somehow not, as he's only taken Tim Lee, but there goes DDL behind him. He's gone off in a terrible spot. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Grumpy Old Catman is leading the way. Mopower Cowboy is a little bit far back of Kittenpetter. Kittenpetter, I think, not DRS yet, but he's within half a second on Grumpy Old Catman. That's not gone well for him. Haas need the points. Kittenpetter doing everything he can, trying to get to the back of Grumpy Old Catman. Mopower, now he's within that second on Kittenpetter. I think he's going to be the one to make the gutsy move here. I think Kittenpetter's going to get the better exit of the corner here. Grumpy Old Catman, now he's gone wide. No DRS for Kittenpetter, although it's going to be side-by-side Kittenpetter. Mopower actually with the fastest lap, side-by-side. Here comes Kittenpetter down into turn 1. Is Grumpy Old Catman going to be able to defend? And I don't think he will. Beautiful overtake from Kittenpetter. He's done everything right in these past 2 laps. Since the off of the safety car, he's done everything correctly. And now he's taken the lead, and he's got a second gap. Mopower Cowboy, he's finding the left side around his teammate. I think he's just going to let him go by. Mopower, he still has a chance, although he has to do some serious driving if he wants to get up to Kittenpetter, and Kitten's going to have to make some serious mistakes. I think he's going to be with the detection this time by. Who's gone off there? That's Shelly the Turtle. And S7 gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. DRS for Mopower. He's going to have to put some work in. Final DRS zone of the circuit. Heading into Ascari. Kittenpetter's got the advantage for now, and Kittenpetter's been handling this corner better. Let's see what happens. Mopower handles the first bit well. Let's see who's going to get the better exit. I think Mopower's got the advantage. He's saving the overtake button. He's going to try to use it last second. He's not going to use it at all. He has none to use. Who gets the better through the corner? Kittenpetter's got the lead. And I think with that, Kittenpetter, he's going to win the Italian Grand Prix. Everything in the kitchen sink has been thrown at him. Mopower Cowboy does get the fastest lap, but it's P2 for Mopower Cowboy. Man, another unbelievable race. And it's a Williams 2 and 3. That's going to serve them well in the constructors. By far, weren't that far behind of AlphaTauri. This has been a terrible day if you drive a green Aston Martin. You've just lost some serious ground back to AlphaTauri. Williams is catching up as well. Still a lot of races left in this season. But Ferrari, Kittenpetter doing a great job there. Garris Vac not happy with how the field was driving out there, saying it's amateur hour apparently. S7 coming across the line now. And Kittenpetter in the Ferrari taking first place. This is a race he's going to be able to remember. Ulek takes driver of the day despite being under investigation, but Kittenpetter in front of the Tifosi here in Monza. Ferrari, the top step of the podium. And he's on a horse. Okay, well, anyways. A great day for Kittenpetter, but an even better day for the Williams team. Now that, when we weren't under safety car, was a very exciting race. These Div 4 guys better be proud. So our final results, Kittenpetter takes the win, Mopowa Cowboy in second, Grumpy Old Catman third, J-Cast in fourth, Dissection fifth, Timley sixth, Garrus in seventh, Ulek is eighth, ninth is DDL, 10th Shelly the Turtle, 11th is S7, and that is the rest of the drivers that finished this race, and we will get to those interviews right now. Sitters, first place Kittenpetter, second place Mopowa Cowboy. Absolutely brilliant race from you guys both. I tell you what, when this race wasn't under safety car, it was an absolutely fun one to watch. Mopowa, let's start off with you. I tell you what, it's been a really great day for the Williams team. You guys definitely the biggest winners on the day. One of the only teams that had both their drivers finish in the top 10, let alone finish. So that was that must be pretty good. How are you feeling right now? That was a very tough race, and I tell you what, that was very exciting to watch. How'd it feel from your perspective?
Well, that last safety car actually came out in a good way for me, because I decided I wanted to go to Mars, you know, through that turn 4 chicane, and I got pushed back to fourth, and then when the safety car came out, second and third decided they wanted to hit each other. So then I got behind them, got behind Kittenpetter, and pit for the sauce, and I probably should have stayed out. I probably would have won. But hey, I'll take a P2.
Yeah, no, that was a really great race. Did you just run out of ERS there on the that final straight there going into Parabolica? It looked like you were really, really close. Did you just not have enough battery to make that move happen?
I did. I was at like, I don't know, 10-15%. What really killed me was coming out of the last corner, the car just went left. I was gunning it too hard.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? You were putting in that effort the whole day, and I tell you what, it almost paid off for you. And as we head into our next three races, those being Portimao, America, and Imola, two of the newest tracks on the schedule. How do you feel going into these next three?
I've put in a lot of work on all three, and I'm looking for Div 4 championship, and hopefully we can get Williams in the constructors.
I tell you what, yeah, Williams, you guys definitely made up some ground today. AlphaTauri didn't have a good day. Aston Martin really didn't have a good day, despite being a top. So a really good day for you all around. Congratulations. Now, Kittenpetter, man, everything in the kitchen sink got thrown at you today. I think you had a 5-second penalty in there somewhere that I was confused about how that came about. Do you remember how that happened?
Yeah, I was too. During that first safety car, I was just following the leader and aggressively warming up my tires a little bit, and I guess Leclerc just ran into the side of me and wound up in the wall.
He was doing the same thing. I was right behind it.
Yeah, I wasn't super stoked about that. Kind of felt bad for him, but I got the right away there. So yeah, but that's how that happened. After that, I was kind of not expecting a whole lot. Maybe I could claw my way back to third, but obviously with the amount of safety cars, I was able to kind of claw my way back, and then that last pit stop. Pit for softs, which was a difficult decision, but I guess it did work out in the end.
Yeah, Leclerc, one of those, I think, 3 drivers today that Grosjean themselves in that same section of the track under safety car. It happened at least twice, Zareska being the second, and then the third in there somewhere. I'm not sure how that happened, but that was...
The Haas went right in front of me as well. That made my job one car easier on the restart.
Yeah,
I saw 2 people do it. Jesus.
Yeah, no, it was a good day for you, Ferrari. Shelly the Turtle kind of fell off a little bit. I think he still wound up with a decent enough spot. But I tell you what, man, you put in some really consistent driving today. That was one of the biggest differences between you two today. Kittenpetter, man. I said when you were going through Ascari, this whole race really, there wasn't one slip up through that chicane, whereas a lot of other drivers were kind of finding their way wide, losing grip out of the corner. You just seemed to be absolutely on rails today. That was absolutely a brilliant showing from a driver's perspective, and you're going to need a few more of that in these next couple weeks. Portimao, America, and Imola. How do you think you're going to do coming into these next 3?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I'm definitely going to have to work on a setup for Portimao and Imola. I think any laps I've turned have just been using TT setups from people that I know are on pad. So, yeah, I don't know really what to expect. Obviously, the same usual suspects. I mean, obviously Mopawa and Light Work, Jonathan Dunk, Text to Speech if those guys are racing or if they're reserving. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good challenge and maybe a bit of a balancing out for everybody, since it's. I don't think anybody probably has league racing experience on 2 of those circuits, so it should be pretty even.
And
compared to most of these tracks.
Yeah, and I tell you what, back to the part of the constructors, it was a good day for Ferrari. A little bit of breathing room now as Red Bull, Alfa, and Mercedes, I believe the 3 teams that didn't have either of their drivers finish the race, and those were your 2 closest competitors as far as that's concerned. So good day for the Ferrari team, and what an absolutely great race it was when we weren't under safety car, which was about 10 laps or so, but checks out. That was a really great race from you guys. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations. And for all of us here at Midwest F1, we'll see you next week when we head to the elevation changes of Portimao.